Welcome back to Unit 1, Lesson 3 on graphs. In this lesson, we'll be going over how we visually represent a point. So to show representation, we first need to understand the concept of inputs and outputs. So let's review what an equation is first. So an equation is when we have two expressions with an equal sign in between, something like this. So on the left-hand side, we have y, which is an expression. And on the right-hand side, we have x plus 1, which is also an expression with an equal sign in the middle. So we know that this is an equation. So what is an input? An input is when we put in a number into this equation. So let's say we put in the number x is equal to 1. We know that the input is 1. So what would the output be? Well, the output would be when we substitute in that 1. So let's substitute. So y is equal to, which is x, which is now 1. And then we add the remaining 1. Simplifying that, we get y is equal to 2. This means that our input is x equal to 1, and our output is y equal to 2. So how would we draw this on a number line? So we know that our input x equals 1, output y equals 2. So how would we draw our input on a number line? We would probably mark it where the 1 is. How would we draw our output, which is 2? We would probably mark it. How do we show that 1 is the input here, 1 is the input, and y, or 2, is the output? Would we draw a line in between them? Would we label them? Well, the simplest way to show an input and an output is on a graph. Basically, if you haven't seen, this horizontal line is basically our number line, like the one that we have over here. And our output would be the vertical line, which is this line that we have over here. So let's try plotting our input and output. So we know that our input is x is equal to 1, and we know that our output is y equals to 2. So our input goes onto our horizontal number line, this line we have right here. So let's mark it where the 1 is. Our output goes on the vertical number line, this one that we have right here. So let's mark that. Now, we had that problem originally about how we would show a relationship between the input and the output. So the simplest way to do that is see where they connect. So let's see where our input connects. And now let's see where our output runs along. So we see that they intersect at this one point right here. Let's just call that point A. So to show what point A is, we have this format. It is two parentheses with a comma in between. And then we have our input, and we have our output. So we know our input is 1, our output is 2. Let's write that in the form of a point. So, parenthesis, our input is 1, comma, and our output is 2. And that's basically how we would represent our point A. And this graph has a specific name to it. It's called a coordinate plane. And basically that means that it's a 2D representation, as in it has like a length and a width, and you can plot points on it. And basically that's our lesson today on graphs.